everybody. Welcome to Wheaton College in Illinois for tonight's international matchup. I'm Chad Edwards along with Larry Julius. Tonight, Larry, it's an international versus a PDL team here in the United States as the Filipino National Team comes into play against the Chicago Inferno. Tell me a little bit about the two types of teams that we're going to see here tonight.
Well, the Philippines, their national team, so they're here on tour trying to get some friendlies in to prepare themselves for a tournament here in November. The PDL team is comprised of players that play in college in the Professional Development League, the PDL. So they're here getting games, obviously getting ready for their college seasons.
Sounds good. And so the Filipino national team is similar to our national team here in the United States.
It is. Obviously, maybe not the level that the United States may play at, but they're trying to work towards that, and getting these friendlies and getting more international exposure allows them to do so.
Sounds good. It should be an interesting one. So coming up next here, we've got the Chicago Inferno hosting the Philippine national team. Stay with us. It's all next.
Midfielder number 21, Jason DeYoung. Forward number 23, Ian Arnetta. Midfielder number 24, Marwin Angeles. Midfielder number 28, Jeffrey Christian.
Angeles.
And goalkeeper number 31, Edward.
Angeles. Yeah, I'm going to say, Angeles. Angeles.
And now the starting lineup for your Inferno. Goalkeeper number 1, Bruce Richards. Defender number 5, Jonathan Brown. Defender number 6, Dustin Downey. Defender number 7, Josh Hu. Midfielder number 8, Thomas Owen. Forward number 9, Carl Howard. Defender number 11, Joshua Clark. Midfielder number 20, Drew Jeske. Midfielder number 22, Damian Romanet. Defender number 23, Francis Otida. And forward number 24, Sam Etienne. The Inferno led by head coach Tony Key. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and kindly remove your caps for the playing of the Philippine National Anthem. The Philippine National Anthem will be sung by Jimmy Weinhofer.
Di ka pa sisihin sa dagat at
Please remain standing for the singing of the U.S. National Anthem, sung by Luella Caballona with Christian Pandalan and Nathan Press. Let's hear it for all our singers.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Wheaton College. We're just about ready to get underway here for this international friendly. Larry Julius and Chad Edwards here to bring all the action to you here on USL Live. Chicago and the Philippine National Team ready to get underway here, Chicago Inferno. Larry, looking at both teams warming up, what did you see out there?
Well, it looked like it'd be a nice contest. I mean, the PDL team looked like they're excited to be here to have the opportunity to play an international friendly, and obviously the Philippines, knowing they're preparing for a large tournament here in November, we're looking pretty sharp as well. It looks like it'd be a very good competitive match this evening.
All right, both teams have entered the field. The little ones are walking off now. We've done the coin toss at the center of the field. They'll shake hands. We'll get ready to get underway here. The Philippine National Team is nicknamed the AzCals. So a lot of AzCals fans here on hand to watch this game here tonight from Wheaton College.
USLLive.com is the league's official online video channel. Check out over 100 USL Pro games on USLLive.com in 2012, including this game tonight. Catch exclusive interviews and features of your Chicago Inferno.
So as we take a look at the starting lineups here, and I apologize to our viewers on USL Live. Unfortunately, we are literally right next to the PA speaker here, so you're going to hear a little bit of that throughout the night, but we'll get through it either way. So taking a look at the Chicago Inferno starting lineups, getting the call tonight in goal will be Roland Moret, and also starting will be, that'll be Reese Richards getting the start in goal tonight, and starting in front of him will be Rosh, Downey, Boone, Owens, Hayworth, Clark, Jerksky, Roland Moret, as I mentioned earlier, Otiera, and Edom will get the call tonight for the Chicago Inferno. And for the AzCals of the Philippine National Team, getting the start in goal tonight will be Sacapena. In front of him will be Christensen, Angeles, Arnietz, DeLong, Wolf, Greatwich, DeMorga, Caledon, Bajarorden, and Saberio will get the call tonight. The starting lineup here for the AzCals as they're known for the Philippine National Team. So Larry, a lot of course, the PDL league, part of that USL soccer, they play their season throughout the summer as well. Most of them, when you mentioned in our pregame, a lot of them are comprised of college players that come out and play throughout the summer to start to get some of that development for hopefully moving on into things like the USL and maybe the MLS and so on and so forth. So a lot of these players are going to be starting playing their college season coming up here in just a couple weeks if they haven't already started as well.
Yeah, my guess would be that they probably did start, and as we spoke about earlier, that there's a possibility they had a waiver just to play this evening, because most schools probably started last Thursday or Friday. So some of these guys probably coming off a couple intense days of college training.
All right, we're underway as the ball is put in play here. The Philippines will move it all the way back now for Sacapena. Sacapena put it back in play to the outside here. Beautiful facility here at Wheaton College in just outside Chicago, Illinois. Beautiful surroundings here at the campus. And a great venue here for this international matchup between the Philippine National Team and, of course, the Chicago Inferno. Nice ball chipped in, coming through, and that one's going to be headed all the way back, though. Getting ahead on that one was Dustin Downey to flip that back to goaltender Reese Richards, I should say.
Very intelligent play, Chad, because he really was kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. He either has to clear it out and he has to come out and whip it out, or he goes back with his head, which was, you know, a little bit risky, but it was well done.
Ball played in here. Edge of the box, shot taken, and that one gathered in, taken on the far side there by Bahadorian. Chicago will just settle it in the back. Comes all the way across to the far side as they'll start to build out of the back here. Take a look at that play from the far side as Bahadorian will get it to this near side, steps inside right here at the box and able to get a shot off. And again, like I said, Richardson able to gather that one in. Chicago working out of the back. Long ball sent up the middle. That one's going to come all the way through. It'll be gathered in here by Sacapena for the Askows. Right now, Larry, both of these teams just trying to feel each other out.
Well, as it appears to me, Chad, both teams are kind of working on the back, looking for that seam. There's a huge gap right where he just played the ball in between the backs and midfielders for the PDL team. And if the Philippines do a nice job of finding that gap, that could be trouble all night for them. They're going to start attacking with numbers up. So very interesting how both teams have come out. Oh, we have an injury on the play here, Chad.
Yeah, really, the ball came through and both players were going for it, and just kind of a weird collision. Foul was called, but it wasn't an intentional getting in there.
I'd like to see the replay of that because they're claiming that there was an elbow coming out here. He doesn't look too happy.
Boone was the one that took the hit. You'll come through. It kind of looked like the two of them were going for the ball at the same time, come running through. Oh, they both went to head it. They ended up with a collision there.
Yeah, it did. I didn't think I saw an elbow on that.
There.
Yeah,
no,
I didn't
not at all. Not at all.
Let's just hope that doesn't start a tone for the game where they start to get a little chippy after that.
So 42 minutes left to play here in our first half. Be a restart here for Chicago. Looks like they're loading everybody up here to the right side, just outside there, just inside the 18-yard mark. Driven towards the back. That one's going to be flicked on and out of play. Is it going to be a corner? Yes, it is, as it goes off of the head of Sabio for the Askows of the Philippines. So we'll have our first corner kick of the game here for the Inferno. Over to take the kick here will be Dustin Downey.
Well, for the Inferno, Chad, they need to capitalize on these restarts. They have a definite height advantage and size advantage. So these are opportunities for them they don't want to miss.
So Downey getting the ball set. Looks like they're going to go short. Quickly plays it in for Thomas Owens. Owens drives it to that back post. Shot taken, and that one gathered in, though. Great job. Sacapena able to gather it in. The ball come all the way across, Larry, off of that the corner kick. Dangerous to get it to that back post.
That was a great opportunity. First of all, it was a great ball on the floor and a good whip ball to the back post, bending away from the keeper. And it allowed Chicago to get underneath it. Great scoring opportunity for them. And, again, it was well designed. You got to give them a lot of credit. It was excellent.
Chicago worked that far side of the field now. Boone with it. Plays it back, and that one too far. Actually comes to the middle of the field now for Roland Moret. And again, Sacapania comes up with that one. Sacapania actually one of the smaller goalkeepers that we're used to seeing you know, here in the United States. Most of the players we see now, Larry, in the USL and MLS are just giants in the goal, and he's doing a fantastic job getting up in the air very quick.
Actually, it was a tremendous shot as well from distance.
Yes.
You know, it reminded me of a shot I'd seen 2 weeks ago. New England hit a ball. The gentleman from France, Soraya, I'm sorry, hit a rocket from about 45 yards out, and it just knuckled and beat Zach McMath and the Philadelphia Union and opened up the game 1-0. It was a tremendous shot. That reminded me very much of that. The ball knuckling in, shaking, difficult to handle. As you could tell, he had a hard time handling it here. And so, again, I like to see that when teams start to strike from distance, because now it has to keep the back four honest. They're either got to step up and defend that, or they're going to put themselves in a position to give away long shots all evening, and then eventually they're going to give up space in behind. So that was a good test for them.
So ball along the far side. Looks like it goes out. We'll have a Chicago throw-in. Happy to have you along here, bringing you international soccer. Again, the Philippines getting ready for their big tournament in November. So they're playing several friendlies here in the United States. Of course, next week they'll be in Indianapolis. That game will be against the U.S. Virgin Islands. So that'll be another international friendly for them. So starting to get ready for the big tournament coming up in just a few months. Long shot, that one from quite a distance there. That one taken by Caledon. Nice ball played inside here along the 18. Defensively able to move it out, stepping in, shot taken, and that's a goal for Chicago. Carl Hayward drives that one in the top left-hand corner, kind of a giveaway in the back. Actually, it was a good job, Larry, by DeYoung in the back to first stop that drive, but then he cleared it straight up the middle, and what a fantastic shot by Hayworth.
Your Chicago Inferno lead 1-0. You
can see here, able to recover on that. And then just a great strike here as Hayward just absolutely perfectly placed ball.
Well, you know, it starts with a tremendous entry ball in, good diagonal ball in, that they played well. The Philippines did well to recover for that. And then when the ball spit back out again, great first touch and just a bomb to the back post. I mean, you got to give them a lot of credit. There's not a lot of goalkeepers, USL, MLS, that are going to make that save.
Ball in the back. It'll be switched all the way over by Sabio. Played ahead now. Quick throw in far side of the field. DeMorga trying to play it down, straight down. That one's going to be played up and out. Another throw in coming for the Philippines now.
Chad, we're going to find out quickly what the Philippine team is worth as they've given up the first goal. Now, will they be able to come back and find a way to respond? And of course, anytime you give up a goal as a coach, you want to say, hey, how do we respond?
Right.
So do they sit back? Do they attack? And so far, they look like they want to go forward. But again, now we'll find out what they're made of.
Ball cleared out by Chicago. Again, gathered right in by the Azcows. They'll work that far side of the field. Laying out there was Bahadorian, but it's too far. We'll have a Chicago throw-in. So Chicago strikes first here in this international friendly. As we mentioned, many of these players are getting to play together for the first time here for Chicago, actually today. A lot of them coming from their college teams, coming in and putting together a roster for this great international matchup. We're happy to be bringing it to you. Good crowd on hand. Ball driven in here. That one headed right back out again by Hayworth. Step over and brings it back as DeMorga. DeMorga waits. Nothing there. He just plays it out. Is it going to be? Nope, it's going to be a throw in as it goes out off of Boone for Chicago. Far side. Ball still kept in play. Angeles was not able to keep it in play. DeMorga now puts it back. Azcow's fighting hard back after that goal, though, Larry. Nice ball driven down in here. Sabio's going to get there, though, for the Azcows and play it off the sidelines. Is streaking out there trying to get there was Carl Hayworth.
Well, what's going to be key now is as the PDL team has obviously playing a little bit with some more confidence. You know, the Philippine team now is not only have to match that confidence, but also the physicality of the PDL team, because Chicago is a little more physical. And as we see this game go on, as they're starting to bump and push into the Philippine players, they're obviously not used to that physicality. So now do they have to obviously play against a team that's very confident, but they have to play against a team now that is going to start matching up physically, as we do in America anyway.
Exactly.
So that's going to be a challenge for them. And, you know, I'm sure they'll respond. I mean, you know, you obviously can tell it's a good side. They're very technical. And once they start moving the ball a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper, they're going to be more successful.
Quick throw down this near side now. Arnett's trying to work it, still down in the corner, and it looks like it's going to be a corner kick. It will be. So the first corner kick of the game now for the Azcows of the Philippines. So over to take the kick will be Calagdong. Carly Calagdong drives this one in, back post, and going to have goaltender interference there. Is trying to go up after that ball was Reese Richards. Looked like it was a free ball there, Larry, but looked like the player maybe right at the end got in to the side of Richards.
Yeah, just enough to impede the goalkeeper's opportunity to get to the ball. So definitely a call that needed to be made.
Richards will put it back in play for Chicago now. What a beautiful night here in Wheaton, Illinois, for some great international soccer. As I mentioned earlier, the Philippine national team will be in action again next week on Friday night in Indianapolis. They'll be playing at the Coons Soccer Park. Great opportunity to get out and watch them, as they will be playing the U.S. Virgin Islands in that international matchup. Trying to get tuned up for the big tournament coming up in November. So they're doing their tour here, trying to get some experience. I tell you, they've done a pretty good job here against the PDL team to start. I think they're starting to get their legs. Of course, a lot of these players starting to play together as well, really, for the first time getting ready for this tournament coming up.
Yeah, and you see that a lot of times with national teams. You know, they have, you know, players they bring in from their clubs, and they have not played together very much. They probably have trained several times, and then they come together, they put out what they think is going to work, and they'll make adjustments.
Chicago trying to work it in. Good defensive play there, as that one's knocked back forward by Jason DeYoung. And now that one's played up and out. We'll have another Inferno throw in. Played all the way back. Another long ball driven down in, trying to flick that one on. Nothing there. It's going to be gathered in here by Christians. Jeffrey Christian sends it all the way back. Sabio waits. Had a chance to play it back. Decides to take the safe move and play it to the sidelines here. Still in play. Chicago trying to come up with it. They do in the corner. Hayworth sends that one in the box, and it's going to be cleared out by the Azcows. Nice turn on the ball there. Just loses that one off his foot, but a nice turn by Calagdong, and nice footwork there. That ball headed on. Big number 5 out of the back. Jonathan Roche for Chicago. There's Roche again with it. Sends it down in. Oh, nice ball played in. Looked like still on size. Ball flicked up and in, and there's the second goal of the game. This time, Drew Jeske gets the goal.
Chicago Inferno.
So the ball chipped in. I was waiting to see if there was going to be a flag for an offside. We'll have to see on the replay here. But it was a nice ball sent up and in. We'll take a look at the replay here. The ball just sent right up over the top, and Jersky just has to chip it up. It looked like coming out off his line a little too early there was Sakapanya. Thought maybe he could get to it, so Jersky just had to chip it up over the top.
Yeah, Sakapanya did get caught in the middle. He either has to commit himself to come and get it, or he's going to hold his line. And again, that was a bit of a physical mismatch. I mean, to get his foot on the ball, that's a 6-footer getting his foot on a against somebody. It's
take a look at it again. Hayworth with the assist actually as he popped that one down inside. So Hayworth with a goal and an assist now on the night.
You know, you really can't negate that ball in either.
No,
that was off the outside of the right boot, flipped it in. It was well played.
Absolutely. Great opportunity here. Long shot taken. That one just goes up over the top. What a great strike coming from Jeffrey Christians. Had a great open chance there. Larry took a nice long shot out, test that goalkeeper early. Actually, I take it back. It was Dennis Wolf, actually, that got a hold of that one.
You know, I love to see that, Chad. I mean, now he's testing the waters from 35 yards out. That was absolutely superb. Great opportunity for the Philippine Island.
Great ball again by Hayworth here. Sent that one just along the backside to Edom. And good defensive play by the Filipino team as they able to clear it out now. Looked like they got a little energy from that last shot. It was a great movement up top. Great movement off the ball and a nice shot taken.
I'm not sure how long this group has been in the States and what they've been doing, how much they've been traveling. You know, the slow start obviously is something they did not want to do, I'm sure. It is good experience for them. They're playing against some young players that are good players, obviously, collegiate players. So for them, I'm not sure how much they've been traveling around the United States, so maybe they don't have their legs yet. But needless to say, this is a really good opportunity now to lift up their level. Again, we'll see what they're made of if they can come back from a 2-0 deficit.
Ball sent down inside, flicked on, still loose. And looking for a call for a minute there, it looked like the Cows, but they're able to clear it out. Headed right back down in, though, by Thomas Owens. And here comes the Cows once again. Burst of speed down the center. Here's Wolf with it, leaves it outside. Wolf making a run. And that one's going to be cleared out again here by Hayworth, but a nice push up the field that time for the Philippines. Switched up here, and that one's going to drift back towards the goal, gathered in. Richardson quickly to this near side.
You know, I like the idea of changing the point of attack on a long diagonal like that to change it up just a little bit. Again, the ball flowed a little too high, a little slow, gave the keeper for Chicago an opportunity to come out and snare it, but that ball has to be driven. He also predicted where he was going. As soon as he opened up his body, opened up his hips, picked up his head, he looked right where he was going. So everybody started to shift before he even played it. So playing too predictable is going to give it away too easy, and Chicago's going to get underneath it, which is exactly what happened here.
Clark with it now down along the end line. Drives it across the front, but that one's sent right back out of play. So the pace of the game is slowly starting to build, and that's what you like to see. Both teams start to get comfortable, start to move the ball a little better. And the Cows of the Philippine National Team, it seems like Larry's starting to connect a little better, starting to get a little bit more used to each other, where they are in the field and how their movement is.
Well, to be honest with you, Chad, I mean, something that we really didn't even address prior to the game, but the weather, the conditions are just amazing.
Absolutely beautiful.
To work and run all evening like this. So I'm sure we're going to see the tempo pick up a little bit here. I'm sure we will. I don't think the coaching staff for the Philippines is going to allow this to stay on like this.
What a great job here along this near side. Again, here's Wolf with it. Wolf cuts it across the top. Oh, trying to get a shot off, went off the side of the foot. A little bit forced there, it looked like, by Caligdong. Maybe could have slid it to the outside, or maybe that was what he was looking for. But a great run down this near side again by Wolf, who's getting active now. Lots of movement from him up top.
Well, somebody's trying to step up. He's trying to step up and make a difference. Somebody needs to for the Philippines. And I do also think this is a bit of a preseason match for them, an opportunity for them to get fit. So you can see them having a little bit more difficult time to recover. And, you know, Chicago's in season form. They just got done playing. So their energy level's high. They're working hard. Their work rate is incredibly high. It's creating a lot of problems for the Philippines. And you start to see a little bit of walking around, dragging their feet a little bit, their heads down. So, again, even though it's a beautiful night out, they may not be in top condition here really to compete at this level.
And that's really part of why you play these international friendlies, is to get into game shape and to get into game form in time for the tournament. So you take your time to build, you take your time to fill, like you said, game fit. Some of these players may only go 60 minutes tonight, trying to get their full win. Ball set in front. Zakopania, another great job gathering that one in.
You know, great defensive work by the Philippines, but again, I got to give a lot of credit to Chicago. You know, what they're doing well is they're playing a lot of early balls. They're connecting a lot of passes. They're playing some diagonals. They're playing into the feet. They're laying balls off, and they're doing it with precision, and they're doing it quickly. That makes a significant difference in their attack, and that is the one thing that the Philippines are not doing. They're not playing quick enough, not sharp enough. You see the ball spatter around the floor like that. When that happens, it tells me that they're just not confident. They're banging balls high on the ball, and that means they're just rushing things. And to me, that's a difficult ball to play.
And that's typical of preseason soccer.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Wolf trying to create some play there. Nice ball driven to the outside now. Cutting back, players in the box. Ball swung down inside, but it's going to be headed out by Jonathan Clark. Gathered back in on the far side, though, be DeMorga. Now sent out by Chicago. This one looks like it's going to go off for a corner kick, and it does. That one goes off the side of the foot of Dustin Downey.
Ascal corner kick.
So another corner kick here for the Ascals. These are the types of play when you're in preseason that you want to take advantage of and see if you can't pop one or two in, and especially when you're a team trying to get your legs, trying to get things moving. Nice ball swung in front, and that one headed away. Nice movement by Chicago, moving that ball out. And good defensive play there on the far side by DeMorga for the Ascals. Sabio plays that far side. They'll just work it around the back, wait for things to happen, loosen up that Chicago defense. Now they work that far side of the field. Some open space here. Working it inside the box. Shot taken, and that one's going to get to the goal, but it's going to be gathered in there by Reese Richards.
Much better by the Ascals, Chad. I mean, coming out of the back, fine feet on a longer ball, which was great. Great touch, great positive touch. Gets a good service in, and again, ends with a shot, which is great. So better build up from the Ascals.
Ball driven through, but it's going to be gathered in. Actually, that one almost dangerously coming back to the foot of Edom. So we'll have a throw-in now for Chicago.
For 24/7 access to your Chicago Inferno, go to the club's official
Hope you're
website
enjoying our
at
coverage here tonight from Wheaton, Illinois, and Wheaton College.
Or like us on Facebook at facebook.com.
Home of Thunder Soccer here.
Inferno Soccer.
And I tell you, it is an absolute beautiful facility. What a great campus. And I know Chicago, the Chicago Inferno play their home games here. What a fantastic environment for them to play their games here in the PDL. The PDL, part of the USL, and their basically professional development league is what that stands for. And, you know, we may see some of these players moving up from here after their college is done, as we see with many of the USL players, up into USL pro teams. And some of them eventually maybe making it up into the MLS, as we've seen many players move from the USL up into the MLS. So you're looking at some of the future stars, I'm sure.
Well, we know in our area, Chad, with the Philadelphia Union, there's a direct correlation between the Reading Rage and the Philadelphia Union. The boys that play with Philadelphia, the Reading Rage have the opportunity of moving into reserve matches for the Philadelphia Union. Mm-hmm. And also then it obviously puts them on the radar and gives them the opportunity to get seen by, you know, Coach John Hackworth and Coach Brendan Burke. So it gives them great opportunities. And again, I'm sure the same thing applies here for the Chicago Fire and Chicago Inferno.
Long ball sent through, and that one played away by DeYoung. Nice run on that far side, though, by Joshua Boone. Driven in. Hayward trying to bring it down. That's going to go off of Sabio. It's going to be a corner kick here for Chicago. Thomas Owens will take the kick. We mentioned many of these players have probably actually been practicing for their college teams or have just started to go back. Had to get specific waivers from the NCAA to come play. And it's I'm sure it's a big opportunity for them to play an international match like this. Flicked on as that one's going to go up and out. We'll have a goal kick. There you see on the screen there, the goaltender for the Ascals of the Philippines, Edwards Sacapania.
You know, one thing that would help the Philippines, right now they're a little stretched out in the back and through the middle. They're allowing Chicago to just run right down their throat, and there's a lot of seams that have been available and open. If they would drop their line a little bit, get a little bit lower, hold that restraining line maybe 5 yards outside the D, so that anything over the top would go into their goalkeeper. If they would do that, they'd have a little bit more success. They're trying to match up man-to-man, and physically it's just very difficult for them to do that.
There's a lot of space behind.
Absolutely,
yep.
Yeah, and if for whatever reason they would find a way to do that, they're going to make life a little bit more difficult. Even if it is a bit of a bunker counter style, it allows them to at least develop a little bit of a rhythm offensively, to get the ball back and have a little bit more opportunity to attack. But right now where they're allowing Chicago to find all those holes and all those seams, and they're so stretched out, it plays into the side of Chicago because they are technically a very good team and they're physically strong. And physically is really not where the Philippines want to be with Chicago because you don't want that physical mismatch.
Inside the box, nice turn, almost coming up with it. Was Bahadorian still trying to chase that down. Like you had mentioned, Larry, about that high line, and for the young players at home, what that means is that the offense is able to run straight at the defense, and the defense now has to turn and run and match that speed to get to that ball that keeps dropping over the top because there's so much space.
Correct. And
so
the more space that they leave, then what it does, it applies that they're going to get into a foot race. And right now you see Chicago that has
a lot of speed.
Not only good speed, but size. So that makes life a lot more difficult for them.
Ascows with a nice ball in, and that one headed on goal. Beautiful ball swung to the back post, and Caligdong gets a head on it. Was able to snap that on goal, but it's gathered in by Reese Richards. Great opportunity there for the Philippines.
That was the best attacking opportunity that the Philippines have had this evening. Well orchestrated with a well constructed header at the end.
Ball will come out to the far side. Just a nice swung in there ball, driven hard to that back post. Nice snap down header. So good opportunity there for the Ascows. Need a couple more of those and then put one in, and they're back in this ball game.
That's all it's going to take, Chad. Just
exactly.
One goal, put themselves in a position to clean this game up just a little bit, get a little tighter again, get a little more confident.
Exactly.
You know, so it looks to me like they're falling into a 4-3-3, as you see, with 3-4 tie. But if they're going to play like this, what they would be better served is to press the PDL team, push on them a little bit, force them to play out of the back a little quicker, and they're not doing that. So when they bypass the front three, then numerically they're in trouble between the midfielders and the back. So if they're going to go three high like that, they need to put themselves in a position to put them under pressure.
And again, Chicago tries to drive the long ball as they switch fields, but in an offsides position that time was Drew Jersky. The other thing I see early in this first half, Larry, is that it seems like the Ascows want to work that right side of the field. We haven't seen much down this left side, and maybe a little bit more movement will loosen up that defense as well. It seems like Chicago is seeing that, and they're getting a little heavy on that right side.
Well, again, you know, that comes down to Chad. It's
confidence,
more,
right?
Yeah, and they're more dominant with the right foot. I've yet to see anyone from the Philippines even use their left foot, and often you tend to attack the side that you're strong on. So,
right.
You know, by trying to find him over there, they found Wolf in there several times, and he's been dangerous from the right side. You know, they're going to go with what works. Now, again, a little predictable, and I would imagine at halftime Chicago will address that. They're going to recognize that. So this
nice
is much
movement.
better. Yes,
great
Chad, much
movement
better.
right now. Right down along the end line. That one crossed by Wolf, and unfortunately nobody able to crash the goal and get into the box. But great movement, great 1-2 touch in here along this near side. Just as I talk about them not working the left side of the field, they switch it up and do a nice job over here. Give and goes to get through at the midfield and break down that left side.
Well, that was a tremendous three-man combo. I mean, they found the first person in that found the third person off the ball, which was tremendous. And it was on the ground, it was well orchestrated, and they were pinging it on the ground, showing a little bit more confidence. So again, as they get a little more confident, I think we're going to see a more active side as this game progresses. I don't expect they thought they would go down so quickly.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of forced their hand a little bit, and I like the way they're recovering from it. They haven't backed down. They're continuing to play. They're trying to connect, which is important. I think it's going to be something as the further they get into the match, the more confident they get, the better it's going to be for them.
Ball gathered in the center here. Roland Moret with it. Ball sent back. Owens. Rosh sent it all the way across. Sent forward now by Otiera. Chicago working that left side. Nice tackle over there to win the ball back. It was Greatwich. Greatwich still with it, fighting hard. He's pulled down, but the referee will say play on because of advantage here. Here's Wolf with it again. And it's Wolf. Nice job with that ball. Looking for it again.
This is much better, Chad. I mean,
yes.
This is much better. keeping the ball, playing with a little bit of skill, playing a little bit quicker, absolutely much, much better. And again, let's keep this in mind too. The Philippine players come in here. This is an opportunity for them to display their individuality and their skill as well, potentially for somebody to see them for an opportunity for a professional contract here in the United States.
Yeah, USL or whatever.
Yep.
Ball sent in, and that one's headed away. Outside. Jersky trying to switch it up. Finds a player in the center trying to get a turn. Great job stepping up right away. Was number 21. That was Jason De Jong from the back.
Much better again. Early on they weren't doing that. They were leaving those pockets. They weren't stepping in. They weren't putting pressure on the ball. This is much better by them. Now it puts them in a position, again, get the ball back. Now they can, again, create a little bit of rhythm, keep possession, and then dictate the tempo.
Great witch. Now on Helias. That one taken away. It's going to be down this near side, but able to gather that one in will be Sabio, and I think he'll just turn this. He does. Nice job to just slow down that forward for Chicago. Sacapania now will play it to the outside. Again, trying that long driven ball and just not getting there to get all the way across. That one was headed right back for Richards.
I like the idea, Chad. That's bypassing all three lines. I like the idea, but again, that was more of a hope and a poke. If it gets there, great. To me, it really wasn't well orchestrated enough. And again, it was a 1v4 if he got it. That has to come off of a buildup when you're pinching everybody to one side and then a quick change of the point. Right there, everybody saw it was coming. So again, easy ball for Chicago to defend and play back to their keeper.
And Roland Moret got away with a big push there, but either way, Chicago keeps the ball. The ref didn't see what he would consider a foul. They switch it to this near side now. Again, attacking Drew Jersky. Waits, has his foot clipped from behind, so we'll have a restart here.
That's going to be a talking to right there, Chad, because that was a simple retaliation for not getting one called up here. But again, that was to me, I didn't really think that was a foul. Did you, Chad? It was right in front of us. It was a little bit more of a physical mismatch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caledon was called on the foul, so a restart here for Chicago. Looks like they'll build up that left side again. Over the ball to serve this one in will be Dustin Downey. Two-man wall for the Philippines here on this near side. And the ball driven in low. Nice job. As that ball was driven in real low, just swung around the wall, and they crashed everybody down inside. Did you see who got the goal? Was it Wolf again? Or, I take that back. Was that Jersky again?
It looked like Jersky. It was a great ball in, Chad. Again, you could tell right when he went to struck it, he had no intent of striking that ball on goal. He bent it right in front, low on the ground. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff by Chicago.
Inferno. Goal scored by number 20, Drew Jeske.
So Jeske does get the goal again.
Dustin Downey.
And Downey will get the
3-0.
The assist on that one. So 3-0 for the Chicago Inferno over the Philippine Ass Cows.
We had talked about Chicago capitalizing on those restarts, and they've been very effective on their restarts to this point. Well designed, well organized. They're on the same page. And again, it goes to a team that's been playing together all summer. They have an idea what they're doing. You know what I mean? They pretty much...
They're used to each other.
Yeah,
they know
absolutely.
the runs.
It makes a significant difference. What you're seeing now are opportunities for the Philippines to learn and come in and then be able to clean this up as they get further into it. If they did everything right tonight, that would be kind of tough. So now they know what to clean up as they go into their tournament here in November. They're going to have a lot of work to do prior to that. But this gives them that opportunity to say, hey, we have to shore some things up. Hopefully they're taking the notes on what they need to do and learn from it.
Exactly. Then they've got an international friendly next week, so they'll be able to take, like you said, what they learned from here and see how they adjust for next week. And then, implement that and see if it's working or if it's not working. The Azcows looking like they're starting to get a little frustrated now with the not getting those opportunities up top. Chicago doing a good job in the midfield right now, moving the ball around, forcing the Philippine team to do some chasing here.
And again, and Chad, you just hit what I was running through my mind here was that now the Philippines are starting to chase the game, and they're really getting pressed and stretched out. This is going to get more difficult for them if they continue to do this. They have to get their lines organized. Somebody needs to take ownership of where they're at. They have to put themselves in a position to be a little bit better organized. I mean, right now, as I look out, there's very little shape or structure going on. It's just kind of all over the place. These are things they're going to have to clean up as they go further into their friendlies.
And we've got a lot of soccer to play here. They can easily come back, and, you know, as they start to work on those things and pop 3 goals back in as well. So, you know, we're not in any way saying that they're out of it at this point. It's just like you said, if they, as this game progresses, if they can keep their heads and continue to grow and feel each other out on the field, anything can happen.
No, I agree. And again, and my point in saying it is that I think that if they want to be successful as they move on with their friendlies.
Oh, yeah, I know.
These are things that are
exactly.
going to have to clean up. I mean, there's no question, you know, they're probably capable of turning this game around. And again, I don't know if it's so much about the result as it is for them to prepare for the future. But in the same token, I think they need to do a better job, again, cleaning up their lines, getting things organized defensively. Offensively, they've shown that they can go forward. They've shown that they can be a little dangerous. So, you know, if they can pop 1 or 2 in here, they can certainly make life harder for Chicago. But they have to clean up their back end first, because if they can't defend, if they don't defend, they're going to be susceptible all evening to giving up goals like this.
Throw in here for the Azcows. Christian sends this one in. Here's Wolf with it. Trying to make a turn. That one taken away, though, by Owens. Owens plays it ahead. Oh, and a bad collision there. That one, that looked like either one of those players could have had a leg injury out of that one, the way they twisted up there, Larry.
I caught myself not looking at that particular play, Chad. I was actually looking at the forwards from the Philippines and their recovery. After they turn the ball over, I'm looking at their mannerisms. I'm trying to see how they're responding to giving the ball away, and is it dejected or is it a positive look? And I know as a forward in the past, I know that anytime you turn the ball over, you feel a little bit dejected. And I was looking to see how their mannerisms were, and they're not showing a sign of, hey, let's go forward, hey, let's attack. They're showing more of a sign of, you know, here we go again. And that's something that's got to change. That attitude has to change going into the second half.
Very little movement is what I'm looking at up top as well. A lot of straight up and down the field. Not many runs across the field, loosening up that defense and switching things up and, you know, making the defense, you know, who's got him, he's coming to you. You know, they need more movement up there to also loosen this up. And this right here is the first that we've seen a little bit, somebody overlapping and looking for a ball. It was a good run here for Christians, but they weren't able to connect down this near side.
It is, but again, I'm going to go back to this word I may use another 5 or 10 times this evening, is predictability. You know, you're going to play a straight ball or direct ball like that, you've got to be sure you're running onto it. In that case, they just did not have, they played a little bit late, they didn't have anybody to play into, and when they did, Chicago did a very good job of collapsing, win the ball, getting the throw in, and then getting possession back.
And Healy's with it, sent it back. The Azcows will start to build it out of the back. All the way back now for Sacapena. Nice turn here. Baja Dorian sent that one all the way ahead, I think, for Wolf again, and Wolf loses this one, but fights hard, comes back up with the ball, but he's going to be called now on the foul as he wrapped the arms around to pull the defender back towards him. So a restart here for Chicago. About 7 minutes and 40 seconds left to play here in our first half.
Much better by the Philippines on the attack. Good individual work, good individual skill. Again, they play a good ball in. Wolf has to do a little bit better job of getting around the corner, but a little bit better. Again, stepping defensively as well, doing a little bit better. I mean, again, things they can clean up, and they need to. They need to find a way.
Ball chipped ahead. That one flicked on, and what are we going to have here? We got a foul here. Yeah, it looks like we had a foul behind the play. They're going to bring this back when that ball was served up. No, actually, I take it back. It was an offsides when the ball was played forward by the Azcows. So restart here. Ball put back in play by Dustin Downey. Drew Jersky plays it to the outside. Otira puts it in the middle. Streaking through is Hayworth, and Hayworth is taken down. A quick restart here. Chips it over the top as streaking down in was 2 players for Chicago. Nice job heading that one. That was Sabio, I should say. Great Witch tries to send this one through, able to catch Wolf. Wolf can't get there Nice turn trying to get past the defender, but runs out of real estate on that far side.
You know, Chad, the more we watch this match, if I'm coaching the Philippines, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what, here's why we're here. This is what we're going to look to do. And I would really encourage shorter balls to try to work and build out of the back. Keep everything tight, stinging balls into the feet, build a little shape around the ball, and work on that, because that will be their key. It's obvious that they can't play balls over the top and have that speed to beat the Chicago Inferno. So ticky-tack balls, build it up out of the back, find a way to get into the danger zone, and then look to combine around the top up there. I mean, they obviously have the technical skill to do so, but they have to be forced to be able to do that. Now, that would be what I would say. Doesn't mean it's right all the time, but that's what I would say. As I look at it, I say they have some good technical ability. Why not take advantage of that? Why not use that?
Ball all the way down. It's going to be played back here for Sacapena. Drives it up the middle. Ball settled down, stolen away now by Jersky. Rosh sent it back for Jersky again here. Sends it through, and that one goes off the foot of Roland Moret as he tries to send it through, and it's going to come again back to Sacapena. And he'll just leave Sabio with it. They'll work this near side. 5 minutes, just under 5 minutes left here in our first half of play. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here tonight on USL Soccer and U-Nation. We've had enjoyable time all season long bringing you soccer action on USL Live and U-Nation. Most of those games being with the Harrisburg City Islanders. Of course, we had a chance to do an Open Cup match with the New York Red Bulls, which I know I had a fantastic time. That was so much fun.
That was fantastic, Chad. I mean, that was a
great game.
It was. And obviously for us, we've done a lot of these over the years, and we really enjoy working together, and we've seen some very good soccer in the process. And again, now they have the opportunity to do an international match. I mean, I know this is one of the highlights, certainly of
absolutely,
of my year for sure.
It's been a great year for us at Invicta Sports, bringing a lot of this action. So we are soccer freaks, and we just enjoy doing this. Coming up next, of course, hopefully we'll be seeing some USL Pro action in terms of some playoffs if the Harrisburg City Islanders can win out here to get a home game and bring you a couple more games. But also then we got a foul here. It looks like we'll have a restart here for the Azcows.
This is better from the Azcows. Again, now they are kind of trying to build up a little bit tighter. Maybe they'll see a little success out of that and take this game plan into the second half, because as they do that, they are quick and they are sharp. So that gives them the opportunity of drawing Chicago out, creating that space in behind. So for them, this is good stuff.
Caligdon will put the ball in play, swings it a little too high, and it comes right into the hands of Reese Richards. As I mentioned, up next for us will actually be MISL Soccer, as we'll be bringing the Baltimore Blast again this year, and this time to the USL. Soccer's live site like we've done with City Islanders, and that was a lot of fun last year. Doing teams from all over the country with that when coming into the First Mariner Arena in Baltimore. Ball driven outside here. Hayworth. Oh, great ball inside. A little bit too much delay on the run, it looked like. Is going to be a goal kick?
Tell you, great penetration by Chicago. Sorry, Chad.
Yeah.
Great penetration by Chicago. Off the dribble and a little bit of outside the foot, little flip in. Brilliant stuff.
Looked like Joshua Boone actually held his run a little too long. Or could have got on the end of that ball served in. Here come the Azcows now. Foul's going to be called there at midfield. As going down hard there was Ian Arnett's. Quick restart. Wolf at midfield now for the Philippine National Team. He'll send it all the way back here for Sabio. Sabio to the outside now for Christians. Moret. Here's Hayworth. Oh, nice defensive play, just getting in there, getting a foot on it was Jason DeYoung. Wolf trying to get a turn. Good battle there, but it's won here by Chicago. Owens will just play it back. Chicago playing possession here as we are just under a minute and a half to play here in our first half. 3 good goals coming from Chicago in that first half. Hayworth striking first, and then Jersky with an assist from Hayworth on the second goal. And then Jersky got another goal, and that one coming from an assist from Downey on a great restart that was driven down inside. That ball stays in, sent ahead, trying to streak through, and actually spun around. And no call since the Azcows keep control. Wolf plays it to the far side. Along the top of the 18, back for Wolf now. Wolf waits. As the Azcows look to attack here, late ball sent down inside is going to come all the way through for Reese Richards.
This is better from the Azcows. A bit more patient around the 18, a little bit better. They're looking for that penetrating ball. Much better on the attack. Again, I said this a few minutes ago. They need more of that. Now they can find a way to build themselves in and then have that last ball. And they're quick enough and they're good enough on the ball to do so. They're finding what is being successful for them and what's not. And I think the longer approach certainly does not fit their style. They're finding the smaller approach, keeping the ball, good triangular passing, good connective passing, much, much, much more successful. And again, I think they have 3 goals in them. The question is, can they keep Chicago from scoring?
So we've got a minute of extra stoppage time that we'll play here in this first half. Much better possession here from the Philippine National Team. Morga waiting, looking. DeYoung with it, plays it across, Sabio. Christians breaks down this near side, has some room. Here's Christians down this near side, tries to drive that one across the front, but I don't think he got enough spin on that to whip it around behind Larry.
Great opportunity.
But a great run.
It was, Chad. A great opportunity, great combination play coming out of the back. They had a good feed in on the left flank. Instead of whipping the ball around the back 4, he whipped it right into the keeper. So good intent, good idea.
So 3 goals in that first half for Chicago. And there you see number 13 for the Azcows. Caledon busy in this first half. So it was all Chicago scoring Hayworth, as I mentioned, then Jersky from Hayworth, and then Jersky from Downey off the free kick. And that's where we are at the half. So 3-0 at the half. We're going to pause, and when we come back, we'll take a look at some of the highlights from our first half here from Wheaton College in Illinois. And there you see our score at halftime here from Wheaton College. 3-0 Chicago, and we'll take a look at some of the highlights here for the first half. It was a pretty good half for both of these squads. Nice ball sent down in here defensively, and the ball comes straight out. And I'm telling you, Hayworth just absolutely rips that one, Larry. What a great finish, able to pick that top corner. And I tell you what, Sakapani really had an opportunity at it, but it was just a great placed ball. And then there you see Jersky getting a great tip up over the top as his ball comes in. And he got his second goal. Nice job there. for the Philippines getting ahead of it, and then this ball flipped in and comes into the back post there, and that one gathered in, of course, and then the third goal of the game coming from Jersky and Downey off of the restart. So that's where we are at halftime. Great crowd on hand here from Wheaton, Illinois, and Wheaton College. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll bring you second half action right here. All right, we're just about ready to get underway here for our second half action. Larry, an interesting first half. What do you think some types of changes you would make if you were looking at both squads to start the second half?
Well, first of all, with the Philippines, there's no question in my mind they have to shore up defensively and get more organized and clean up their lines. They're allowing entirely too much penetration through the middle and over the top. So either drop a low line, get things more connected, and make sure their lines, they're not giving up the seams. That would be the first thing. Second of all, for the PDL team, I don't know if I changed too much because they've really had their way. They've done very well. They've moved the ball very well. They're playing with a lot of confidence, scored some great goals. So I probably would go at them the same way we just did.
All right, they're just waiting for the clock here. The clock is reset. Almost reset. There we go. Now the clock's all reset. 45 minutes.
Difficulties, huh, Chad?
Oh, absolutely. We have them. Everybody has them. That's called electronics. All right, back to play here. Quickly, The ASCALs try to strike it down that left side, and Chicago able to gather it in. They'll send it back up near midfield. Flicked on there in the back by Edom. Stepping up, getting a foot on that one, gathering it in, was Otero. The ASCALs now need to come out, and they're down by 3. They need to push. Well, one thing that we saw at the end of that first half, Larry, that I was impressed with was that they started to go with the short game rather than the long over-the-top game, as we got a foul here. It looks like trying to play through the ball. I'm trying to see if I can find the number. It was actually 35, which we do not have on the roster.
Downey was one that got hit.
Downey was, yeah. But for the Philippines, number 35. So we will try to gather that number for you. We'll take a look at the replay here. Downey trying to settle the ball and coming through just as he kicked it. Yeah, kind of studs up, kicked the bottom of the foot.
Yeah, it was a borderline yellow. I mean, the official came over, cleaned it up right away, was ready to throw it, and then he talked to him and he realized it was not necessarily intended. What Downey did was had a bad first touch, which invited number 35 from the Philippines to come in and try and take a poke and steal. You could tell that now they're going to start hitting their points a little bit faster. It looks like the Philippines are going to start pressing out a little bit, which they need to in order to get those 3 goals back, or at least one at a time. But in that particular instance right there is unfortunate, but as Downey turned, didn't see him with his foot up like that. And anytime you whack into the bottom of the foot and they have the studs up, it's incredibly, incredibly dangerous.
Ball switched over here. Ball swung through the middle here, gathered in by Wolf. Philippines with a few additions to the lineup here, so we'll get those. I want to make sure we're representing the kids well. Here comes Chicago once again down the center, outside for Boone. Boone waits, across the top of the 18, nothing there. Can he come back up with it? He does. Boone trying to take it to the end line now, still fighting hard, trying to get the cross. He does, but it's going to go off the end line for a goal kick. Chicago tried to work this near side of the field. More people still crawling in here for this international matchup between the Philippine National Team and the PDL team out of the USL, the Chicago Inferno. Philippines getting ready for their big competition coming up in November, so several international friendlies taking place here over the next few months as they start to prepare their team, start to get into game shape and be able to go the full 90 minutes and get their squad in top-notch shape. The next game, of course, will be next weekend, and that game will be in Indianapolis, I should say, as they will play against the U.S. Virgin Islands in that international friendly. Ought to be another good competition as well there. So that'll be a fun game to watch as well. That'll be at Kuhn Soccer Park in Indianapolis. Beautiful facility as well, much like the one we see here at Joe Beam Stadium at Wheaton College in Wheaton, Illinois. And again, the Philippines versus the U.S. Virgin Islands, August 17th. Game time 7:30. Get out and watch your team if you're a favorite or a of the Filipino national team, or also of the U.S. Virgin Islands. So number 35 for the Philippine national team is Humphreys, so able to get those numbers for you. Make sure we represent the kids well here as they're working hard out there, and for all of the parents and family and stuff watching the game in the United States and in the Philippines here on USL Live. Happy to have you along here. Ball goes out on the far side. Throw in now for the Philippines. Long ball down this, headed right back in, kept in play. Actually, the flag goes up, so it looks like maybe it was out of play, but it'll be another throw in here for the ASCALs. Over to take the throw will be Christians, Jeffrey Christians. Ball switched to this near side. DeYoung outside now. DeMorga sends it in. They'll switch it to the far side again on the attack here. Sabio, as the Philippines doing much more short game, moving the ball. They try to go the long game there, but they're not a bad idea, Larry, because they've started to stretch out that Chicago team with the short game a little bit and then take that quick strike, maybe seeing if they can get something down that right side.
Yeah, again, there is nothing wrong with that. As long as they're constantly being a little bit unpredictable. If it's like early on in the first half, it was a little too predictable for me. They'd open up, they'd size up where they're going to go, and they're going to clip that 50-yard ball. Well, at that point in time, Chicago read that and was able to get underneath it. Now, if they play a little bit unpredictable, like little quick knocks, side to side, inside out, and then flight somebody in. Then I would say, okay, now they're starting to play a little bit. And again, they need to pick up the pace a little bit, pressure a little bit higher. They need to keep connecting passes and find a way in behind. They can't continue to just sit back and expect the game to come back to them.
Ball flipped in there. Ball goes out of play. Long throw now down in. That one headed right back out, though, by Rash. Chicago with it as they work it into the center of the field now. Hayward trying to chip it through. Nice ball inside, and that one turned away, though, by the Azcows, and they'll play it off this near side of the field. What a great run down the middle, though, there, Larry, as Hayworth again held on, and tried to spring up through the center there for another goal here. Looked like it was 24. Yeah, it was actually Edom trying to sprint through. Edom with the ball now, plays it back. Boone, now Downey, back in the corner now. Boone's going to switch this one up. Far side. Got a player hurt here for the Azcows. One of the defenders looks like maybe his ankle. Or is he trying to get his can't see, is he?
It looked like he got his shoe
maybe
stepped
got his shoe stepped on, yeah.
Generally when that happens, you're getting a cleat right in the back of your Achilles and it rubs, and that does not feel good.
No, not at all. A little bit of everything going on here at Wheaton College, home of Thunder Soccer. We've got the Wave going on the other side as well, so it's good to see good soccer matchup here going on for an international friendly, and the crowd enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying it on USL Live as well, as that ball goes off and out of play. We'll have a throw-in for Chicago.
Chad, I've been very impressed with a lot of the individual play from the Chicago PDL team, the Chicago Inferno. A lot of these guys really stepped up tonight. I mean, they didn't come in here in any way, shape, or form intimidated playing against an international side, and they've done a very good job. And I got to say that the quality of play has been nice. They move the ball. They play with good intent. You know, I've been somewhat impressed with the Philippine team as well at times, a little sporadic, but again, not in season form, obviously. So this is an opportunity for them to obviously improve. And again, Chicago has done an excellent job against them.
Absolutely. Ball played to the outside, that time by Jersky. Chicago content with knocking this around with a 3-goal lead here, forcing the Philippine national team to chase. Nice tackle there as that one stays in play, though. Gathered in, far side, still in play. Hayward sends this one in the box. That one's headed straight back out by Carly DeMorga. Hayworth almost making his way all the way through. That one cleared. And nice job, excellent job getting over to that ball. Jeffrey Christians to keep that one in play. Down the sidelines now. Lots of soccer being played on that far side of the field. As you can hear, the fans are getting into this one here. A lively, active crowd at Wheaton College for tonight's international matchup. Gotta go off for a throw-in now for the Inferno. Moret leaves it, gets back in play. Ball flipped inside, trying to work through taken down in the box. There's going to be no call there, though. Trying to squeak his way through was Sam Edom. A nice defensive play inside the box there for the Azcows. Chicago switching it up, actually right in for Hayworth. Almost gets ahead on it again. Turned away by Jason DeYoung now, this time for the Philippines. Turn on the ball. Humphreys. Ball in the back now. Huey with the ball, leaves it outside here for Humphreys. Chicago pushing and playing high here, Larry, putting the pressure on and forcing really the Azcows to maybe have to go back to trying to pop a couple over the top.
Well,
they know they're starting to play the knockaround game, so now Chicago's compacting that middle of the field.
And again, they're doing a nice job of keeping possession. They're moving the ball. They're playing with better intent, a little bit more confident. And, I've gone to that word several times tonight, but you can certainly see the difference. But they've done a nice job. Now it's that final pass. Now it's going to be a ball in between the seams, that final pass. This is a great ball. A little long, great ball. Great opportunity. Again, 10, 12 passes, knocking, maybe putting Chicago to sleep a little bit. Boom, long diagonal ball. A little unlucky, but it was a good opportunity.
Quick ball sent in, and that one sent right back by Boone. Morga sent that one all the way back for Sabio. Switches it to the far side. Sabio. This one intercepted here by Hayworth now. Hayworth still with it, leaves it to the outside. Chicago trying to work that ball all the way across the top was Roland Moret. Hayworth still with it. Sends it all the way back now for Jonathan Rash. Rash quickly ahead. Chicago content with knocking this one around, Larry, and just stretching that defense of the Azcows. Nice driven ball here, and that one's just going to float a little bit away. Intended there for Joshua Boone, gathered in, though, by Sacapena.
Well, Chicago in a position, Chad, obviously would not be a crowd pleaser as far as not going to goal, but they are in a position to keep the tempo and keep the ball. They don't necessarily need to put themselves in position to attack any more than what they have to. Keep the ball. Force the Philippines to continue to chase the game. Once they do that, they can put them to sleep and then find that last penetrating ball.
Ball switched up to the far side now by Jersky. Chicago across the top, back for Jersky, too far for him, but Hayworth will gather it in quickly ahead. That one sent right back out. And the Philippine National Team forced to do an awful lot of chasing now, Larry.
Well, and again, that's Chicago. If they continue to play like this, that's what's going to happen. I mean, the Philippine National Team is going to have to make a conscious decision to step up a little bit higher and start to press and shut these lines down. Right now, they're just allowing them to dictate the tempo and keep moving it and keep pushing the ball wherever they want. They need to take initiative. If they want anything to get back in this game, if they want any goals or any opportunities, they are going to have to find themselves by pushing a bit of a higher line.
Ball taken away there, is trying to work forward was Thomas Owens. All the way back now for Sacapena. Edward Sacapena is going to push everybody forward. And he'll just leave it off here in the back. DeYoung with it. Jason DeYoung still working this near side of the field. Huey outside. DeYoung sends this one ahead. Knocked down by Wolf. Demetrius Humphreys sent it back. Huey again to this near side. Philippines content with working this near side. Seam up the middle. And that one just misplaced there. That one may have been the first opportunity. Had a really good shot at the goal there as that one goes off. We'll have a corner kick, though.
Well, Chad, ever since Huey's entered this match, he's now shortened the game up a little bit for him, and he's presented himself well in the middle.
Coming to Chicago Inferno news and real-time game updates at www.twitter.com/InfernoSoccer.
Sorry about that. I was a little drowned out there,
Yep.
Chad. I didn't think I could overcome that microphone. But he's done a nice job of coming out and getting the ball in the small seams, and they've built up a couple times off his foot. He started that attack. So far it's been nice when he gets his foot on the ball. They have to find him a little bit more often.
They go the short kick here off the corner kick. DeMorga sends this one inside the box, flicked on, near the back post, still loose, and now gathered in by Reese Richardson, but dangerously swung back in there, ball for the Azcows.
Great opportunity, great ball to the back post. Love to see that.
Take a look at the replay again. They go with the short kick as the ball comes back in for DeMorga, and then he swings it to that back post, flicked on, and Richards has to get off that line awful quick. Almost overruns the ball, actually, and was able to gather it back in. Huey sends it across. Sabio all the way to the far side now. Back for Sabio. Greatwich leaves it. Gets all the way back for Sabio again. Chicago content with really not pressuring here. As the Azcows are out, their only option that they're getting right now is those types of balls right now, unless they loosen up this defense a little bit. And really, with nobody chasing up top, they're just bunkering a little bit for Chicago.
Well, again, I mean, we talked about this briefly right in the beginning of the second half. We had talked about it was a little bit better because they had started stroking the ball around a little bit, and they weren't as predictable where they went. Right there, he stood on the ball forever, and you knew the only option he had was to go long. So Chicago did an excellent job of just dropping the line. Ball gets served in. Easy play for Chicago, easy play for the keeper, and then they get their ball back. So, again, they need to get back to what was working. Small combinations, keep the ball moving, and they're going to find a little bit more success that way.
And I also, when they were having that success right at the end of the first half, there was a lot of movement up top from those forwards and a lot of overlap runs from those midfielders as well. And really, even when the player was on top of it, what a great snapping header there and another nice ball sent in. But they weren't moving around as much now as they were then, and that's when those opportunities were coming one after another. Take a look at the ball as it comes flying in here, and a great snapping header. Great job.
Now, that's a good ball, Chad, but again, the coach in me is going to say, hey, if you're going to play that ball, you need to drive it, because he's not going to get up at the top of the 18 and be able to snap that hard enough to beat a keeper of Reese Richards' size.
Right.
He's going to have to get a ball driven in, so all he has to do is deflect it and carry him the ball towards the post, or towards the side netting, I should say, one of the posts. So, again, good idea. Has to be with more pace, more intent, so that his header then becomes more of a placed header than more of a snap header.
And Reichelt was the player that got that snapping header off. Right across the front, and it actually goes right behind Damian Roland Moret. Or that may have been 4-0, and we got a hard foul on the far side going down. And the foul's going to go against Joshua Clark. We'll take a look at this cross again, as this one will come all the way across the front of the goal, but it comes right behind, parked on that 6-yard box, and ready to pound that one home, but it was right behind Damian Roland Moret. So restart on the far side now for the Philippine National Team. Ball headed in, flicked ahead again, and actually down real hard on the field there is Reichelt. He's back up. There's several substitutions at the half for the Azcows. Ball sent in the middle here. Moret waits, has the player to the outside on the overlap. Hayworth trying to get there. Check that, not Hayworth on the far side. Actually, that was Joshua Clark. And it goes off the end line for a goal kick. We're going to have a substitution coming into the game here. Will be Keene for Chicago, and he will give a rest here to number 7, Joshua Boone.
Substitution coming on for the Inferno is Kieran Keene. Cutting off of the Inferno is number 7 defender, Josh Boone.
Ball comes in now. That one's flipped ahead.
That was excellent stuff by Chicago, taking the air out of the ball a little bit. Maybe just a little bit of miscue here coming out of the back, but it was good intent.
Okay, across the middle of the field now. To the outside now. Here's Keene moving the ball now. Back for Keene, so right away Keene getting some touches here. Across the back. Owens sends it to the outside. Chicago starting to work that right side of the field.
Chad, Chicago doing an excellent job of forcing the Philippines to chase side to side and then finding those seams, doing a very, very good job. And as I hear Coach Tony Keys talk about what he's looking for, they're applying exactly what he wants. Wait for the right time, give him the right cues as far as keeping the ball moving. I mean, it's all excellent stuff. You gotta take your hat off to Chicago by moving the ball around like that. It's been well played on. I like what they've established.
Down that far side now, Philippines attacking, and that ball is played out of bounds. It was intended for number 9, Bahadurin. I should say Bahadurin. Ball driven in, and that one maybe swung to that back post, had somebody there, but the Philippines get another shot on goal, able to work it forward. Chicago breaking out now on the near side. Keene will pull it back. Jersky waits. Chicago doing a great job of stretching the field, getting those midfielders right out on the touchline.
In order for the Philippines to get back in this game, they are really going to have to start pressing higher. They are allowing Chicago to dictate the tempo nonstop, and they have got to now start stepping up if they're interested in getting back in this game. If they're using it for a tutorial, if they're using it for a game where they are just trying to analyze the type of team that they have brought over here, that's one thing. But in the same token, if they want to get back in this game, they're going to have to press higher and harder and faster.
Substitution for the Azcals. Coming off the field, number 9, midfielder Visag Bahadurin. Coming on for the Azcals, number 16, forward O.J. Porteria.
Number 9, Chad, for the Azcals has been one of the most effective, impressive players for me this evening. Technically,
Number 4,
has done an
O.J.
incredible good
Porteria.
job for them.
So O.J. Porteria comes into the game now and gives a rest to number 9, Bahadurin. Throwing on the far side. Azcals trying to attack down the center. That one gathered in there, though, by Carl Hayworth. Hayworth sent it outside, now driven down the front. The ever-popular Maradona to get out of space there by Sam Edom, or Edom, I should say. Along the near side again. DeMorga sends it in the center. Ball will be switched up to the far side by Awi. And we'll have a high kick charge there against number 28, Jeffrey Christians for the Azcals, and we will have a restart for Chicago. Quick restart. Ball into the center here for Owens. And Owens loses that one. Azcals trying to strike down this near side now with a burst of speed. Uwe outside, has that ball come in, tries to turn, and actually, I take that back, that was actually Humphreys. Ball taken away, sent in the middle, and almost, you know, it might have been better served by Carly DeMorga to take that to the outside, see if he could strike a right footer on that one, Larry.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to do it, and I don't know why he didn't. I know he was probably looking to combine right there, Chad. I can understand what he wanted to do, but he had more of a seam to just take an extra touch and then have a go himself. So, again, it's a little bit better. You know, they're starting to show a little creativity up on top. Again, they're here to work the kinks out.
Ball flicked in, and that one almost squeaks in the back post. It looked like it almost went off the defender back there as well.
Yeah, I don't think Downey expected that ball to come all the way through. I think he expected it to be defensively headed out. It certainly was not, and it created trouble for him. He's also asking his backs to get up. He was encouraging them to push, and he would have held everybody off, but he could not step because everybody else was lower. Therefore, they left the Philippine player onside.
And Demetrius Humphreys almost had the first goal of the game there for the Azcows. And we'll have a foul on that one. So restart here for the Philippine National Team. Trying to work their way back into this game after going down 3 goals in that first half. 3 nice goals. The first one from Hayward from a long outside blast that found that top left-hand corner, and then Jersky and Hayworth connected as Jersky was able to flip a nice little flick shot over the top of goaltender Sacapena. And then, of course, off the restart, driven in by Downey, Jersky was able to just get a foot and redirect it. That made it 3-0 in the first half. No scoring here in the second half. We're in our 71st minute. 72nd minute, I should say. That ball cleared out again by the Azcows. And a long touch there. Azcow had some momentum moving forward. Hayward trying to get the run off, and a shot taken from outside and mishandled there by Damian. Roland Moret trying to let that one go from outside and went off the side of the foot. The pace of the game has picked up a little bit, Larry.
Well, I'll tell you what, irregardless of the score, the Azcows fans are loving every minute of supporting their country. They're really excited every time they touch the ball, every time they look to go forward. Love to hear that from the crowd.
Absolutely.
You know, obviously they're looking for their team to find the back of the net, and I can imagine once they do, if they do, how those fans will erupt in the stands.
Absolutely. It's been a fun game to call. It's been very energetic, and that always it helps for a good soccer game. Humphreys with it now, leaves it for Wolf. Wolf still working, plays it to that outside again. A cross, shot taken, goal! Azcows on the right side. DeMorgan finishes that one off, and listen to that crowd, Larry. Take a look at the replay here as DeMorga. Nice ball set in right across here, and DeMorga on the one touch. Great finish.
Chad, the part that we don't see on camera is the build-up here at midfield where they had a tremendous combination play. A tic-tac, ball up front, knocked down, and a ball slid to the outside with a great whip ball back to the inside. Tremendous build-up. This is exactly the type of stuff I was talking about that the Azcows need to be successful. They were able to stretch out Chicago in the back, open them up a little bit, be less predictable with the ball to the outside, and whipped it to the back post with pace. That was a great goal by the Azcows, and they electrified their fans. I'm glad to see that.
Absolutely, the fans definitely getting in on that one. So it's a new game, 3-1, plenty of time here. If the Azcows can put some more together, that ball flicked ahead will be a handball. And I'm not sure, it looks like down on the ground, maybe with looks like cramping.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here by DeMorga, the goal scorer. I tell you, that was a fantastic finish. Fantastic finish. To take that ball across your body and play it with that outside foot on the run, just a great finish.
Absolutely, superb.
Again, the concessions are located underneath the football.
Here you see the crowd on hand here at Wheaton College.
We had just mentioned about if they could find a way to hit the back of the net and what those fans would do. I'm very happy for the Azcows, but also the fact that those fans were treated to not a goal, a brilliant
goal. Excellent goal. And this has put some energy back into the Azcow players. Yui just sent it across now. Back out. That ball goes up and out of play. Here's the Azcows again. Wolf gets it ahead. Ball left. Wolf plays it to the outside. Reichel trying to get across, and this one cleared out by Chicago out near midfield. Azcows come up with it again. And now we're going to have a foul charged and a yellow card issued to number 24, Sam Edom.
I have a feeling.
Given to Chicago Inferno player number 24, Sam Edom, his first of the game. Azcal ball.
The Azcows will have a restart inside the center circle. And we're going to have to wait and see if he's able to get back to his feet. More cramping here as well for Carly DeMorga. And I think we're going to see a sub maybe for DeMorga because he's, once you start cramping, it's very hard to try and get rid of that, Larry. It's almost impossible, yeah.
On a night like tonight, though, I really can't understand that. It's a beautiful night out. I don't understand how they're cramping. Again, lack of fitness. That's all I can think of. And
a replay there, and quite honestly, I don't know. Oh, the foul's at the end right there, coming through and catching the knee on actually, that's on Yui.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a substitution as well here. Yui is back up and okay. But, yeah, with DeMorga, if he's cramping and they're still having a hard time getting that cramp to loosen up, he's done. But he did what he had to do. He put the ball in the back of the net, 3-1.
Awful lot of time being wasted right here. I know they're going to add some time at the end of the match, but they had a nice rhythm going as well, and they don't want to lose that.
Coming onto the field, number 44, Marvin Angeles.
So Marvin Angeles is in now for the Aztecs. Or Azcows, I should say. Said Aztecs, I apologize, the Azcows. And what do we have here? We've got an offsides. We've got an offsides charged against the Philippine National Team. So restart here for Chicago in our 78th minute. So we'll have a restart over there and the ball just outside the box. Chicago taking their time. They're going to take as much off this clock as they can now with the 2-goal lead in the 78th minute. Ball driven up. Flicked on down inside. Hayworth is going to be called offsides, though.
That's absolutely a foul. Oh, he did call it. I was going to say he was going to let it go. That was a
Chicago Inferno ball.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a foul as well, so.
For 24/7 access to your Chicago Inferno, go to the club's official website at www.infernosc.com. Or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/.
I'm not sure what's going on here, Larry. I'm trying to, I apologize. I haven't been speaking because I've been trying to figure out what the call is and what's going on. Apparently it's going in the favor of the Azcows.
That's not, well, once again, that's not what I saw either, but who are we, Chad? Again, we call each other armchair quarterbacks all the time
Exactly.
because we're sitting up here watching it, but certainly didn't see that coming that way.
We have an awful lot of fun being armchair quarterbacks.
That's okay. Hey, I'm sure when I played, I'm sure people did the same to me, and, you know, it is just the way it is.
Exactly, exactly. Here comes the Azcows again. Wolf with it. Wolf will play it to the outside. If they come up with a second goal here, this crowd is just going to erupt. Down and shot, another shot, but that one just goes wide of the mark by Wolf. What a great buildup on the far side again this time for the Philippine National Team.
Absolutely much better on the Philippine part. Again, they're building balls up. They're keeping good shape, good organization. Very good trickery on the ball. You got to love it.
Ball sent right in, snuck in the back door by Potea. That one goes up and out of play.
Good things happen when you press a little bit. This is an opportunity for them now where as they press, they're gaining more momentum. They're gaining some confidence. They've had some good strikes on goal. I mean, again, this is a very good build-up. This is a very good end of the match. I like the fact that they're pressing and putting much more energy into the match at this point. I really enjoy the fact that these guys now are looking to find a way to get the result.
Far side of the field now, slid across by Sabia, I should say. That one's going to go out of bounds. We'll have a throw in quickly for the Philippine National Team. Comes all the way back for Sabio again. Sacapania will send it, and they'll work this near side. Potea sent it all the way back. They'll switch to the far side. The one thing I'm seeing right now, Larry, is a lot more movement up top from the Azcows.
Well, that goal certainly breathed a little bit more life into him. There's no question about that. But again, you know, as the second half, as they made some adjustments and they brought in some different players, they've created almost a completely different flow of play. I mean, Yui coming into the central mid has done a nice job of getting that first ball and then connecting the second ball, which they didn't have that going on in the first half. And a little bit more creativity and trickery close to the top. Fun for the crowd to see. Better for them to keep possession. You know, again, the unfortunate side is they went down 3 goals right off the bat. It makes life more difficult for them.
Ball sent. This one's going to be chipped to the outside. Streaking down out there is Reichelt. And Reichelt is taken down hard. And we'll have a foul and a restart here for the Azcows. So a good opportunity here to see if they can't build something up off of this restart. So we are in our 82nd minute of play, so they need to strike here to have time to do a little bit more work on that third goal. Down in the corner. Reichelt trying to cut it back and just takes the hip to the midsection. Looked like maybe knocked the wind out of him for a little bit. So over the ball to serve this one in will be Jeffrey Christians now for the Filipino Azcows. Down in front, and that one just headed up and over top. That time by Demetrius Humphrey. We'll take a look at that service in there again. That ball swinging away from the goaltender, and Humphreys gets up there just a little too high for him to get up and snap down, but he got in there and was able to get behind before Richardson could get there.
That ball is 6 inches lower. He's able to snap that down to the ground. He had Richard's feet, so that would have been an excellent opportunity. Can you imagine if they would have made this game 3-2 with 8 minutes left in the game, how interesting that would have been?
Absolutely. This game's firing up right here. It's definitely not over, that's for sure. Sacapania is going to put it back down again. Haven't seen him punt at all today. Have you, Larry? I don't.
No, I haven't. Which leads me to believe kind of what we've kind of surmised just a little bit about this being a training tool for them. You know, finding a way to build up their attack. Now, when they have done that, they've been successful. Check that. So, for me, you know, I'm not so sure it's a bad thing because I don't think they're going to win many balls in the air anyway.
Right.
You know, so coming out in the ground has been better for them. And again, they may have been given instructions at halftime to maintain possession, build out of the back at all costs. And since they've done that, they have had some of the better play here in the second half.
Again, they'll go to the short game here from Sacapania. That ball played back this time. That time by Marvin Angeles. Here's Wolf, leaves it. Now they play the outside for Angeles, Marvin. And that one cleared out by Chicago. Trying to settle this down. Working hard up top.
You know, the last 10, 12 minutes here, Chicago's been rattled. They have not really connected very many passes, and they're playing a far more direct style of play just to clear the ball out of their end so they don't get caught. So again, I mean, this has been a big improvement for the Philippines as they now have played and really dominated the flow of play the last 10, 12 minutes. So now it tells me that, hey, this is working for them. This tool that they've used as far as coming out of the back, this training tool has been good, and it's been working for them. So now it's an opportunity to build up into next week's match.
that possession game that we saw from Chicago has switched now over to the Filipino team. And ball sent in the middle with some space. Oh, trying to work that in for Patea, who had a great run in there, but good defensive play for Chicago to break that one up. Inferno play it to the midfield. Played back by Owens, now all the way back there by Downey. Ball played ahead here by OTA, and it's going to go off the sideline. We'll have a throw-in. So we're in our 86th minute of play here in this international friendly. We'll actually have a substitution before the throw-in. Coming into the game now will be number 18, Xavier Gomez. And he is going to give a well-deserved rest here to Sam Edom for the Chicago Inferno.
Substitution for the Inferno. Coming off is number 24, Sam Tim. Coming on is midfielder number 18, Xavier Gomez.
Angeles sends it ahead. Working it down inside is Humphreys. Now Humphreys trying to keep control and does. Plays it back in the middle here for Yui. Yui sends it all the way across. The Ascals, I think, really need to strike here early in the next minute or two, Larry, to have time to try and work their way in for that third goal.
You know, Chad, even if they don't get that next goal, I have to say that they've done a nice job of moving the ball. That's not necessary in a
frustration.
Friendly. Yeah, that's not
frustration. And they'll just settle these down. Like you said, this is a friendly match here, but you know, that's sometimes a misleading word there, friendly, when you put it into any sporting action. You know, when frustration sets in, all kinds of stuff can happen in a friendly matchup.
The Chicago Inferno and the Ascals would like to thank today's sponsors for the event, Skyflakes, Dasorama, Pre-Capital
Both
Investment,
players settled down now, so we'll be able to get back to play. We'll take a watch here.
Quality Therapy,
Going down hard, and it looks like a little extra between both players. And they both got up frustrated. So
Football Academy. Once again, thank you on behalf of the Chicago Inferno and the Ascals.
And it looks like the Ascals just going to play it back after that. So
well, a little bit of sportsmanship once things cool down a little bit. You like to see that.
Absolutely, absolutely. At the end of the day, you're all playing for the fun of the game. And nobody's intentions are to hurt anybody. So the best thing you can do after a play like that, young players, is shake the player's hand, shake it off, and get back to having some fun.
Absolutely. I mean, number one, I mean, it is a friendly here. You know, keep that in mind. Number two, at the end of the day, that is what you play for. I don't care how much you're getting paid. At the end of the day, it is a friendly match. Of course, everybody's heated. Everybody wants to be successful, but there is no room for that.
Ball played up ahead. Oh, almost coming through. If he could have flipped that over the top was O.J. Patea. Just couldn't get the ball up over top. See quite a bit of urgency now out of the Filipino team. That one headed back down again by Angeles. Oh, that one just skips over the foot of Wolf. Oh, trying to play that all the way back. It's a giveaway here for the Philippine National Team. Here's Wolf to the side. Wolf trying to put it in front. It's loose, and that one goes off the defender in front. Nice job by Jonathan Rash, but almost getting a strike at that one was O.J. Patea. So the quick corner kick, they'll put it in play right away as we are in our 90th minute of play. Looked like a player taken down there. No call. It's just going to be a throw-in here for Chicago.
That was looking for a restart. I'm sorry, Chad. That was looking for a ball in the box for sure.
Down along the near side, Chicago giving a lot up here, seems late. Not possessing that ball like we saw at the beginning of this half. And the Philippine National Team has taken advantage of that.
Well, the work rate by the Philippine National Team has changed dramatically. They've now look to attack, look to go forward, and they're playing with a high rate of speed where they didn't do that in the first half. And they're playing with better skill and better intent. I mean, that whole compaction of items that they did not have in the beginning, now that they have it, they've been more successful. So giving away those 3 goals changed.
The referees have indicated at least 1 minute of stoppage time.
Yes.
1 minute.
So it'll be just 1 minute of stoppage times. We were into that already and trying to work that ahead. Hard tackle there, but it's the Askows that come up with it. They play it right down the center of the field. Here's Wolf with it now. Wolf takes a strike, and it's going to go off the defender, Jonathan Rash, for a corner kick.
Much better for the Philippines. Absolutely much better. If things stand as they are, they're going to win the second half 1-0. So that just goes to show you how when things can change like that, they've been treated, the fans have been treated to a great game, irregardless of the score at this point. Now they have more to build on for next week.
Ball driven up. That one headed right back out this time by Drew Jersky, or Jeski, I should say, and it's going to be another corner kick. Jeffrey Christians will take the kick again for the Philippine National Team. This ball is driven up inside the box. It's still loose, and now it's gathered in and sent out by Thomas Owens. Quickly, the Filipino team tried to turn it back, but it's going to be a goal kick. And we have played just over a minute of stoppage time, so we'll wait to see how much the head official on the field will let this one play out. It's been a good finish here. Both teams picking up the pace. It was an active second half of play.
Well, again, this is exactly how the Philippines should have started the match. If they would have came out with this type of intent, this type of pressure, would have been a different result.
I think an excellent contest here from Wheaton College and Joe Beam Stadium. We've enjoyed this contest where the Chicago Inferno will take this one home with a victory of 3-1. And I think a good showing for the Filipino national team as well. And they'll be in action again here in 1 week in Indianapolis as they will take on the U.S. Virgin Islands in Indianapolis. So make sure you get out and get out to that team if you're watching in Indianapolis on USL Soccer. We hope you guys will get out and participate in that game as well and come out and cheer on this that international friendly. It's great soccer. Of course, tonight the Filipino national team getting a chance to play here against the Chicago Inferno, part of the PDL program out of the USL here, United Soccer League in the United States. And I was impressed with the play overall, Larry. Overall, when the game wrapped up, I think there was like soccer, the game swung back and forth, and in the end, it was an exciting finish.
You know, I would agree with you, Chad. And again, as the game progressed, you know, something that we really didn't talk about was, you know, do we even know if the Philippines have ever played on turf before?
Well, you know what? I never thought of that, too.
So as the game progressed, I started to realize that, you know, maybe the pace of play, the pace in which the ball is being played wasn't what they were used to. So, and I don't know that for a fact. I'm just saying, as the game went on, you started to see them becoming a little bit more comfortable, starting to connect better passes. They did shore things up defensively a little bit better. And I thought that as the game progressed and they started stringing passes, they were the more dangerous team in the second half.
Yes, yep, I agree.
Again, more than anything, I think they treated the fans that came out and supported them tonight with an excellent game. I think that they ended the game on a high note. Now they go into next week's match, hopefully building on tonight and potentially getting a better result next week.
Absolutely. Well, we hope you enjoyed our coverage here, and we hope you'll stay with us next year when we bring you more USL soccer as well. For the Chicago Inferno and for the Philippine Askows, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.